badass. Need to find out where these cables are going to pop out at. Probably in the front of that little fender well thing.
You don't have room? Yeah.
So I'm probably going to bring those wires right there through that little fender well and pop them out right there. They're going to come out, they're going to attach straight to these batteries. So if I'm going to pop these holes in here, I at least want them to be uniform and straight. And I got a good idea on how I'm going to do that. A little cheating with the laser. Made a little hole template right here. Those bigger circles represent the actual wire, but I made smaller holes that are actually going to be what I'm using for the pilot holes. So cut this out on the laser, bring it over, fill the little pilot holes in, and then I'll know where to put the hole saw, and they'll be perfect. I was just going to use this thing for like a template so I know where to put the pilot holes, but now that I'm looking at it, I might just want to use this for a trim plate. I think that'll look even better. Alright, alright. I made a couple of changes to it. Added some mounting holes. Since I am going to use this to make the holes, I want to make sure that they're exactly even. And this will be the way to do it. These holes are dead center inside of these holes right here. So, you'll see. As you can see, 4 perfectly placed holes. So I want to hit it with my hole saw. They'll be perfect as well. As I was doing this, I was realizing that I got a battery bank back here, and it's lithium. Being that that run is really long from the front to the back, and I've got a bank back here that is back feeding up to the alternator, I decided to put a fuse holder inside of here. So we got a double fuse holder, an SMD of course, cut the red wires, but that also did something else cool. It allowed me to attach these white wires to the outside. That way when I come out to the rack, we're just showing white and black, no reds. So that's a good thing, and it'll be safer. Because if something were to happen, if one of those wires was to melt or get pinched and I didn't even know it, which I highly doubt, but you never know, and I'm not the one that's going to be driving this vehicle, so I want to be as safe as possible. So if something happens to those wires right there, at least they're fused in the back and in the front. Much nicer like that. All black and white. So the next thing I need to try to do is attach to this bank and make it look clean, because I don't really have any place else to go besides this bank. And I think I'm going to do what I did on the batteries in the front. We're going to do just like this. We got some copper with 5/16 by 18 holes already threaded, and I'm just going to put them on here and extend them out. Then I'll have a nice little spot to attach to. Look at that, instant threads. perfect. Something like this right here. A couple little extendos, and now I have a nice spot to attach to those ring terminals. Don't know how pretty it's going to look when it's all done, but at least I have a solid place to put them. Got the ring terminals on. I know it looks like a mess, but with the power of editing, here in about 2 seconds, it shouldn't be messy anymore. Alright, just like that, they're done. Of course, this is where that fuse holder's at, tucked right inside of here. So we're able to turn the red into white conveniently, and more than anything, protect the car from burning down. Alright, the front of the truck and the back of the truck are now one. Everything's hooked up, the fuses are in, truck's running, 3 Titan 8 batteries. Look at that, 14.91 volts. Truck's running right now, no problem, everything's good. Now let's turn these amps on, make sure they still work. Got a little wire right here, which is going to obviously be cleaner later, but I just want to turn them on and make sure it's going. You can pay particular attention to this because if that's on, everything else is going to be on. It's going to be hard to see the green lights. Yep, there we go. Look at that. This is a bass output meter. This is the highs output meter. As soon as we have music coming through here, those things are going to be moving with the music and set with the DD1. That way, when they hit the red, you know that you're where you need to be. It's kind of bright in here, so hopefully they show. Can you see them?
Yep.
Check this hatch. Oh, that's pretty good too. I like all the colors. Purple action. Of course, this is a Yukon XL, so we didn't take up the whole back. You still got back seats and tons of room. Look at all that room. Time to put the box in here. We're not quite there yet. As you can see, all the wires for the mids and highs, 6.5s, the 3s, and the tweeters, both sides. We got the trigger wire for the remotes, and a couple of triggers for the output meters. Then the box will be ready to go back in. Now it's time to clean them up a little bit and bring them at least somewhere where I can attach to them later when we go to do the door panels. Multiple amplifiers, LEDs, output meters, etc. Might as well spend a couple minutes here while I'm on this build and show you guys what a relay does and where its role is in a system like this. Most aftermarket head units have a remote output, which is just a trigger to turn things on. That remote wire is pretty good for turning things on. Maybe for a couple of amplifiers. There's only 3 in this system, so we could probably get away with just the remote to turn them on, no problem, and the processor. But when it comes to the LEDs, they don't take up much power either, but anything after amplifiers, I like to have a relay. That way I know they're all getting strong power. They're not running off that little tiny amount of amperage that you have available off that remote, which is almost nothing. You could actually damage your deck by putting too much stuff on it. So we're going to use one of these right here. Your basic 30 amp relay, Bosch, whatever. There's several different brands, but it's a basic 30 amp relay. Doesn't even need to be 30 amps. That's what I have over there. So the object here is to take a weak turn on wire like the remote and turn it into a real power wire. Without even hooking this up, I'm going to explain real quick. This right here will be grounded. This right here will be the trigger, so off of your remote. This one up top is going to be the best positive wire that you can find in the car to use, and this one is going to be everything that it's powering up. So basically this right here is open. As soon as these two right here see each other, as soon as they turn on, these are going to close and these are going to be connected, the ones in the middle. Now the one dead center is the exact opposite. See that one in the middle? That's dead center. This one is the opposite of that. So right now this one and this one are touching. They're closed. But the minute that these things right here see a signal sense, this one's going to be grounded, this one's going to be your signal. This is going to turn on, and then all of a sudden these are going to be separated, and then these are going to be together. So right now these are closed, these are open, and as soon as you hit the button, it's going to switch around. I'll show you here, I'll demonstrate. So let's attach a couple wires to this thing and see if we can make it click. I already know we will, but it'll be a good demonstration. And then I'll hook up the rest of them to this amp rack, and you'll see what I'm talking about, why we're even using this thing to begin with. So what we'll do here is, this is the remote coming off the head unit, or any other trigger. It could be a toggle switch, whatever you want. And we've got a ground on this side. So right now, if I was to apply power to this blue wire, you'd hear this thing click. And this top one is going to be your good power, your good positive, the one that you want to use for the more demanding stuff. And this bottom red one is after it comes out of the gate. So right now, this right here and this right here are not touching. The minute this blue and this black wire are triggered, these two will be connected. So this would be positive, and this is where the positive is going. Now the white and red are connected together. Now they're not. Now they are. Now they're not. But remember, on the flip side, that one in the middle is connected to the red wire already. And as soon as you click this, now they're not connected. So this relay can be used for different things. When I touch these two probes from this voltmeter, or I should say ohm meter, which I'm using it as, you can see zero resistance. So that means that these two right now are not touching until I touch them. As soon as I activate this relay, you're going to see the exact same thing as me touching those two together. Ready? Right now. Just like that. So just like that. That's how you use a relay properly. Now I get to turn around and wire this amp rack up and hook up the LEDs and all the remotes to it. As you can see, the relay is in. It's wired into the system. All the other wires are ran. They're tucked into the side panels, and then they come out at the bottom by the door sills, ready to tap in whenever the door speakers get done. A quick little tap on the positive with this blue wire. Now remember, this blue wire was the one that triggers the relay. This is going to be coming from the front off the head unit. Ready? Here we go. Yep, it's all working. Processor's on. The amps are on. You can't see the green lights from here. They're on the other side, but I heard them. The VU DIN is on. Everything's working good. All the wires for the mids and highs, they're already ran. They're right down here below the door sill, right below me right now. Once I figure out what I'm gonna do with the mids and highs up front, then I can run the wires straight back here and tap right in, just like I did in the Escalade, and they're ready to go. Now, although the box for the 24-inch subs is not really ready to go in, I mean it is, but with the stock mids and highs, that's just totally not right to do that. But that box is huge, it's taking up a lot of space in my shop. So real soon, we're gonna put it in here and hook it up just so we can hear the bass and make sure all that shit is working. Once we know all that stuff is working, we'll head up front to the doors and see what we can do up there. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing yet, but I know I got some highs to hook up. Safe to say that I can't wait to hear this thing bumping. I can't wait to see it out there doing what it does out in the street. For right now though, stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, and I'm out of here.